Hello and happy Friday to all of you out there, wherever you are and whenever you may be watching. Tonight's WKMC TV broadcast is a District 4 Class 2A championship matchup sponsored by Winnie the Pooh Daycare, featuring the top-seeded Southern Columbia Tigers and the second-seeded Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes. My name is Jim Lesko. Alongside me is my brother Dan Lesko. Jose Gonzalez supports us from the sideline, and together we're coming to you live from Tiger Stadium in Catawissa on a blustery November night, Dan.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and interestingly enough, so tonight marks the fourth time in the last 5 years that these two teams will meet for a district championship and a state playoff berth. The Tigers, of course, are 4-0 in those matchups, and they've won all four in fairly convincing fashion. Tonight, though, the Red Tornadoes are arguably the hotter team, riding a 7-game win streak as compared to the Tigers' 6. The Red Tornadoes' last loss was at the end of September, although it was right here on this field.
Yes.
While the Tigers had their historic win streak broken a week later at Wyomissing.
Yeah, well, Jim, you talk about the win streak that the Tigers had broken. The Red Tornadoes are really looking to break their district title win streak that they've got here. Over, the last four that the Red Tornadoes have played here have all been losses for the Big Red. And last year was also Southern Columbia Area Tiger District Championship as well. So the Red Tornadoes are looking to stop that, and to do that tonight, they're gonna have to do a lot of things, and they're gonna have to play a pretty clean game, and I think that's what you're gonna see on both sides of the ball. Ball security and just making the smart play, not having bad penalties, things like that. That's gonna be the difference maker in tonight's game.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the blueprint, so to speak, of if you want to get after these Tigers. You saw a little bit of it last week with South Williamsport, where they just didn't give the ball up.
Right.
South Williamsport held on the ball, and of course they get the ball to start the game. They have a big drive. There's a turnover, and that's kind of all she wrote.
Yeah.
And I think, will the Red Tornadoes look to, well, we'll get into what you think the Red Tornadoes need to do tonight in just a minute. We're going to pause for the national anthem. In Catawissa, Pennsylvania, the PIAA Class 2A District 4 Championship between the Tigers and the Red Tornadoes. And Dan, you were just kind of getting into it like we talked about.
Yeah.
History, both recent and ancient, seems to favor the Tigers in this one.
Yeah.
So what do the Red Tornadoes need to do to have this one come down on their side, as opposed to kind of how a lot of these matchups have gone?
Well, yeah, that'll take me into the Red Tornadoes' keys for the game tonight. So I got started off with control the line of scrimmage, play flawless, and create. Now, control the line of scrimmage, that's something that they've done very well throughout, especially this 7-game win streak, but pretty much throughout the whole season. They have the bigger line, and they pretty much, the majority of the teams they play against, they have the bigger line, and they do a really good job of playing it out. Play flawless. I know play flawless is kind of asking a lot, but we talked to Jose before the game, and he said it right. You need to play mistake-free football without being afraid to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And create. Create can mean a lot of things. Create turnovers, create big plays, and just create a sense that you're going to win this game moving forward. You need to create that in your team. Coach Dara has to create that in the Big Red. They have a lot to do. But I think if any Mount Carmel team is going to do it, this is the one.
So the Red Tornadoes won the toss, and they're going to take the football first here. The Red Tornadoes sent out David, Feliciano, Stellar, and Nestico for the toss. On the other side, the Tigers, they had sent out Garcia, Rose, Berlitz, and Savitsky. So we'll get to see that Red Tornado offense first, Dan, and it's not a normal. I shouldn't say it's not a normal Red Tornado offense, in that it looks like Coach Dara's offense, but this has been more prolific than any we've ever seen.
Yes, literally any that we've ever seen. Like, we talked about it. We always love the fact that Jose keeps us up to date on everything. He sends us the game notes, early in the week, so we have stuff that we can talk about. And this, with the 4,116 rush yards that this team has put up over 12 games, that is the most that any Red Tornado team has ever put up.
Whew. Yeah, that's saying something.
Absolutely, this is a storied franchise.
And it's at this point again, they broke the record held by the '98 team, which was 4,067 yards, and that was done in 15 games.
Yeah.
So that 41-16 was in 12.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
And they'll need to be just as impressive tonight as they have been for the last 7 weeks to keep these Tigers off the field. And so we'll see. We've got number 43, Isaac Carter, kicking off for the Tigers. It looks like the kick is going to be to
Spears,
and he's going to have trouble with it at the 15. He's going to get dropped down right at that spot. It's going to look like forward progress. They'll give him the 16, but the Red Tornadoes will be starting inside their own 20.
And Jim, that's a tough start there for the Big Red. That's not the way you want to get things started. We talked about playing mistake-free and playing a flawless game. Not really being able to get a good kickoff return there kind of slows things down. It puts the momentum in the Tigers' hands to get things started.
So the Red Tornadoes will come out in their shotgun double wing. Feliciano in the gun. He'll have Stellar to his left. They've got Double Titan, Schultz and Chicatano, Widener and Farinado in the wings to the right. To Feliciano's right, that is. It's going to go to the up man. It's Widener. They got across the 20 to the 21. Bring up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, it's a decent little pickup there for Widener. I like Coach Dara, kind of going to that right away early. That's usually a play that, it is later on in the game, short yardage, stuff like that. So it's kind of a tendency breaker if you start with getting Widener the ball right away. Get moving in the right direction.
We'll no doubt talk about them more and more as the night goes on. We're going to get to those Red Tornadoes starting offensive linemen as Feliciano keeps it himself, and he's upended. Looks like his number 57, Austin Reeder. So nice play made there before Feliciano can get going. And now it's 3rd down, Dan.
Yeah, and Jim, while we have the little break here, I'll talk about Southern Columbia's keys. And tonight for them, it's going to be stop the run on defense, create a passing game on offense, and they need to create as well, create turnovers. I think turnovers are going to be a big key for them to get ahead and stay ahead.
So big 3rd down here for the Red Tornadoes. Feliciano hands it to Stellar. Stellar's up the middle. He's going to run through a tackle. He'll be very close. He should have the 1st down when it's all said and done. But my goodness, that was a tremendous individual effort.
Yeah, and he does have the 1st down. And with Stellar, so we talked about it. This is not, these Red Tornadoes are not a senior-heavy team. But Stellar, playing in his last game against Southern Columbia of his career, this whether the Red Tornadoes win this game and move on or lose, and it's the last game of his career. But either way, this is his last time he's going to be playing here at Southern Columbia against these Tigers. And he's playing like it.
Red Tornadoes in no hurry here, and you expect to see that as the night goes on. They'll try to keep that ball away from that explosive Southern Columbia offense as much as possible. This is Farinado. We'll try to get to the edge. He's not going to do it. He's going to be tackled by number 23, Garrett Garcia. We'll say his name all night. He had 23 tackles last week, Dan, 154 on the season, and he's got his first one here 2 minutes in.
Wow. 23 last week. And, we talked about, we kind of read in the newspapers there that the Tigers only ran 17 offensive plays last week. So the defense was on the field a lot. So that number 23 makes a lot of sense. And that 154 for Garcia, a season record.
Yeah.
And he's only a sophomore, Jim.
Farinado lost a yard on that one, so it's 2nd and 11. They'll go back to Stellar. Stellar will be close to a 1st down. It's going to bring up 3rd and short. But interestingly enough, Dan, we talked about it a little bit before the game. You said Garcia setting that season record, and that's impressive when you think about some of the players that have come through here, namely Cal Halliday, who's
Yeah.
tearing it up in Michigan State at this point.
Right, yeah, it's pretty impressive. And you see on this 3rd and short here, Feliciano checks out, Davitt checks in. We're going to see Stellar in the Wildcat. Now, no real, nothing really fancy with this. Pretty much know what's going to happen here on the Tigers side, so this is just strength against strength.
It's going to be Stellar off the left side. It's going to be close.
Looks like they're going to mark him a little bit short.
Yeah, that's a
just short.
Tough spot on the far side.
And I see, and you know, you're not in a great position on the field here, but you got to trust your offensive line if you're Coach Darren. It doesn't look like any changes are being made on the field here to opt for the punt. So we'll probably see a hard count here from Stellar, and then Wildcat.
Yeah, Coach Garrett is going to show his cards early tonight.
Yep.
8:13 left in the first quarter. Red Tornadoes 4th and a foot. Here we go. It's Stellar, and he's got the first down.
Absolutely.
Red Tornado drive will keep going.
And Jim, you talked about it. We are at 8 minutes now in the first quarter. The Red Tornadoes took the ball. We're already at 4 minutes into this game, and the Red Tornadoes have picked up 2 first downs. So this is exactly what they're going to need to do tonight. They need to control the time of possession, keep the ball in their offense's hands to keep it out of that Tigers offense's hands.
In this case, for the Red Tornadoes, the best defense is going to be a good offense. And Feliciano is going to keep this one. He's going to get a couple tough ones. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Jim, I see the, you know, we talked about it, the strength against strength. The 2 inside linebackers for the Tigers are their leading tacklers with. We talked about Garcia coming into this tonight with 154. Fedorov at the other inside linebacker coming into this game with 100. So
freshman, no less.
Yeah, a freshman and a sophomore there. 254 tackles between the 2 of them before the game has started.
Right.
So it's going to be those inside linebackers and that inside of the Tigers defense against that tough offensive front for the Tornadoes.
It's going to be Farinado, and he's going to weasel his way up. He'll get to the 45. It's going to be 3rd and 4.
Yeah, and again, this is going to be a, you know, this is the Red Tornadoes staying on schedule here.
Yeah.
You know, getting into a 3rd and manageable position where, you know, they're not forced, you know, they're not way behind the sticks where they're forced to put the ball in the air. Because really, if I'm Coach Dara tonight, I don't want to have to throw the ball.
Right.
You know, I want to be able to just give our offense our strength, give our running backs the ball behind those linemen, and let them do their thing.
Feliciano to Stellar. Stellar's going to try to get outside, but Berlitz makes a great play. He's going to drag Stellar down for a big loss.
Yeah, and Stellar looking for the same thing I was looking for, Jim. Looked like somebody might have got a hold of the face mask there right away. But now with, you know, the loss there, we are going to see the Red Tornadoes out for the punt team.
It was actually, with forward progress, it only wound up being about a loss of 2, but nevertheless 4th and 6 from still on your own side of the field. Coach Dara ready to punt this one away.
Yeah. I think it's a good decision at this point.
And we'll get an official timeout here as the official tries to assist Stellar with getting his pads back inside his jersey. Stellar punting to Garcia, the ever dangerous Garcia. So we'll have to see if there's any directional here, Dan.
Yeah, I would assume that that's going to be the move.
There's a flag. It's a good punt by Stellar. It's going to bounce at the 22 and take a hard right, but we got to see what this flag is. If it's on the Tigers, it might get interesting.
Yeah, it definitely will, but I think it's going to be against the Tornadoes.
Yep. Legal
formation.
So now, if you're Coach Roth, I think you send him back and make him kick again, because I want you kicking to Garcia as often as possible.
Absolutely, and I think the maybe not, Jim.
And right on cue, they're just going to.
I'm wondering if they'll get the 5 yards at the end of the return here or not, or if that's just a straight decline. We'll see here. Yeah, they are. They're going to get the 5 yards after the punt, so they're going to start at the 27 here.
So in these cases, we'll trust Coach Roth. I think he's earned trust.
Yeah,
30 years.
30 years or so. So we'll see this tough Tiger offense. for the first time.
So Wise is under center. He's going to turn. He's going to hand it to Barnes. And Barnes is going to get upended after a gain of a yard.
Yeah, nice job there by. Actually, I'm sorry, Jim. I was thinking it was Schultz, but Feliciano coming up from his safety spot did a really nice job kind of filling there. Schultz did a good job setting the edge, and Feliciano came up playing just like a linebacker back there, filled that hole and didn't let Barnes get much.
As Wise is under center, it's going to be Barnes right behind him. Wazlowski and Garcia on the wings. They'll split rows out wide. Wazlowski off the right side. He's going to try to get the corner. He's not going to do it. Good job out there by David. Actually looked like the one that beat him to the corner and turned him back inside.
Yeah, and that's got to give credit, too, to the defensive end and the corner on that side. It looked like it was Schultz, or it was either Schultz or Bradley. I didn't get to pick it because they flip-flop,
yeah.
You know, field and strength and stuff like that. So I'm not sure which one it was, but credit to the defensive end for stringing that play out. And then finally when Wazlowski did get the corner, there was somebody there to meet him.
Time Wise is going to throw it. He's looking for Rose, and he's incomplete. He had him. Falls incomplete, so it's going to be 4th and 9, and the Tigers are going to punt, Dan.
And that's a huge first defensive series for the Red Tornadoes. We kind of got to see, I mean, they didn't see Gavin Garcia touch the ball at all, so that's always a plus.
Right.
You get the ball back for your offense very quick. That's a plus. And you got to kind of see what you're going up against there with Wise throwing the ball. And
yeah.
he threw a nice ball there. Like you said, it went through Rose's hands.
Carter will see the punt here. It's a good punt. It's returnable. Farinato's going to take it right at the 41 and try to get upfield. He's going to be near midfield, so it's a good return there to the Red Tornado 49. It'll be 1st and 10 from there. We got 4:37 left in the first quarter of a scoreless ball game here at Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, Jim, you talked about, Farinato did a good job there, fielded that punt, and, not afraid to stick it in there either. Farinato's not a big guy.
Right.
And, you got some big dudes running full speed down there at you, but he's not afraid to put his shoulder down and initiate some contact there to get an extra yard or two.
Well, and Farinato, he's one of those kids. He kind of changed the vibe of the game last week.
Yeah.
Where we didn't see him in the first half, and he had 1 carry in the second half for 34 yards and a touchdown, and that kind of broke things open versus Troy.
Yes, it did.
Now the Red Tornadoes back on the offensive. David in motion, but they'll give it to Diaz. He's going to lose a yard. It's a nice play made there by Fedorov.
Yeah, Fedorov does a good job. Looks like he's, we talk about these Red Tornadoes, the offensive line, how a lot of these plays are misdirection. There's a lot of pulling action and stuff like that. And I think that Coach Roth just pretty much tells his inside linebackers that wherever the pulling is coming from, you shoot that gap.
Yeah.
And Fedorov does a good job, and that's why these inside linebackers have so many tackles.
So Diaz is in there at the wing slot that was previously occupied by Farinato. Again, the Red Tornadoes are down a man. Verano plays there too. Won't have him tonight the rest of the way. Feliciano himself, and he's going to run through a Tiger defender on his way to a 1st down.
Yeah, that's a great run there by Feliciano. And you see these that Red Tornado offensive line starting to feed off of these backs, putting their heads down, putting their shoulders down, and fighting for extra yards.
That took a second for them to officially call it a 1st down. And look at this. The Red Tornadoes are fired up. That's the kind of play you need.
Yeah, absolutely,
And again, you talk about it, Dan, there's not many of them, but Feliciano is certainly one of those senior leaders out there.
Yeah, and you've seen it so far. You've seen Stellar put his shoulder down and run somebody over. You've seen Feliciano do it. You've seen Farinato do it.
Now it's going to be Diaz, so they came with the Thunder, and there goes the Lightning. And he's going to take a big stick, but not before picking up another 5.
I think he might have got actually a few more than that, Jim. Looks like more like 7.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, good eyes, Dan.
Yeah, he was able to get that forward progress and then got pushed back. But really good run there. And this, you're right, the Thunder and Lightning is kind of coming from both sides here. And Jim, these backs are tough, and I give them a lot of credit. But I think the biggest hitter who's out there one of the biggest hitters on this team who's out there at the tailback spot hasn't even touched the ball yet.
And that's David, right. We'll see. Now the Red Tornadoes, a little hard count there just to get a little motion. And it's going to be David. He's going to be up in the briar patch. Be close to a 1st down. Wait and see the signal officially. Should be a 1st down.
Yeah, I think think it's going to be real close if it's not there. Waiting for the call.
They're going to measure.
Jim, this is the first time all year that we have seen a measurement.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not going to complain. It's a district championship game. You want to make sure that these spots are correct. But it's literally been normally everything that's been close has been called the first down.
Yeah, and I think if you're Coach Dara, though, you're probably a little bit frustrated here because you've got some momentum right now.
Yeah, and this is definitely slowing things down. I mean, this seems like something that happens, though, pretty often.
Going to be about 5 inches short. So Stellar will come in, Feliciano will go out, and that's how the Red Tornadoes will have to try to pick up half of the length of the football.
Yep. And you know, I think on 3rd and a foot, I feel pretty comfortable as Coach Dara on the sideline there, bringing in Stellar, bringing in really any of the backs to get this. You got 2 downs to get 6 inches.
Well, and you got Widener there if you want to give him a shot a little closer to the. And Stellar's going to throw, and he's got Diaz wide open in the middle of the field. Diaz is catch, and it's a touchdown, Red Tornadoes. With 2:02 left in the first quarter, the Red Tornadoes strike first. A 31-yard touchdown pass from Stellar to Diaz.
And the tendency breaker there. I talked about it on the first drive, Jim, that when Stellar comes in, it's power on power. Everybody knows that. It's your strength against our strength. So Stellar, a little stutter step, looking like Tim Tebow out there, throws a dime to Diaz for the first score and to take this early lead.
Now, in a game like tonight, of course, all these points are going to matter.
Absolutely.
Everyone is going to be critical. There is some weight with this one, though. We talked about it last week. With Stellar kicking 3 extra points, he tied Mike Sinkovich at 130 points kicking for the most ever in a Red Tornado jersey. And that's blocked, so it'll stay at 6.
Yeah.
And again, those points are going to matter.
Absolutely. They definitely matter. And that's a good job by the Tigers' defensive line there. Just, kind of powering through. It looked like they kind of knifed through from the corners and were able to get inside. But again,
I saw Berlitz. I looked like he was one of the first ones in there. He's a big kid, Dan.
Yes, he is. He
Berlitz,
is.
They list him at 6'2", 245, and I think we say it sometimes. He's all of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's most definitely. He's not one of those guys that has his numbers pumped up a little bit. That's pretty accurate, I think.
But one thing we just want to remind everybody again: you're sitting at home, you're warm, you're watching this. We want to thank Winnie the Pooh Daycare and Preschool as tonight's sponsors. Winnie the Pooh Daycare and Preschool services children from 8 weeks of age to age 11. They offer before and after school care. They also house a pre-K counts program free to families who qualify. They are a Keystone Star 4 center, and on December 11th, they're hosting a Christmas event at the St. Pauline Center in Coltmont. There'll be a live nativity with baby Jesus and real animals in the nativity. Santa is coming, and children will get a small gift too. The night will end with a luminary and caroling. So remember, that's Winnie the Pooh Daycare, tonight's sponsors. And on December 11th, there's a joint venture with the St. Pauline Center in Coltmont. Sounds like fun to be had for all.
Yeah, most definitely. And thank you to Winnie the Pooh for sponsoring tonight and giving everybody, the people that didn't want to come out on this blustery night, the opportunity to watch from home.
So now here's the Red Tornadoes need to be careful again. We've said it before.
Yes.
With the punt, the Red Tornadoes, Stellar was very clearly angling that punt away from Garcia. Certainly want to do that here as well. And it's going to be an onside kick. It'll be covered up right away by number 31, Colton Bloom. Did a nice job there being prepared for that. And it'll be 1st and 10 Tigers at the 48.
Yeah, and Jim, I understand the idea. You want to keep the ball away from Garcia, but don't really agree with the call there.
Right.
I think at this point in the game, you have the momentum, and now you give the Tigers a short field to play with.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a lot of yards to give up there to start.
Yeah, most definitely. So we'll see what the Tigers have to do. They got Rose manned up top on the wide side of the field.
That's Diaz again out there with him. But we'll see if it's going to be Barnes again, and he's going to be eaten up by Nestico. We'll lose 2 on that one. Great play by 71 to blow through and make a tackle.
Yeah, Nestico did a real good job, and it looks like the Red Tornadoes' defensive line tonight going with the beef. I mean, these guys are Coach Dara does a really good job of rotating these guys in and out, getting different guys on that defensive line. But this is what we've seen throughout the season. And just as we call it now, going with a 4-man front on the defense, dropping out a defensive back.
Well, and the Tigers go with their beef too, Dan. They brought Rose to the side, sent Burlitz in, so they don't have anybody split out now.
Okay.
And we'll see Garcia for the first time, and he does what he does. He'll be shifty, make a few guys miss, get across the 50. He'll pick up about 5. It's going to bring up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Jim, we've talked about it. These are two very good head coaches. And you see, it looks like Coach Dara has a counter for when Coach Roth decides to switch things up. Kind of goes from a dime to a nickel, things like that. And now you see Diaz coming back in, and I'm sorry, it wasn't Moser, it was Kellen Geary. And now Kellen Geary checking back out.
And Burlitz and Rose will swap on the southern side. They're going to pitch it to Garcia outside, and he's in the middle, and now he's in a foot race. And just like that, it's 6-6. Garcia good from 49 yards out.
Yeah, and like you said, Jim, just like that, the Tigers seized that momentum right back. So, you know, the short field there for the for the Tigers to play with turned out to be the difference maker on that quick drive there.
Now Isaac Carter on to attempt the extra point. Carter's been exceptionally good this season, Dan, kicking extra points, 48 of 55, an 87% clip he's hitting these at. We'll see if he can hit another one to take the lead. It's up, and it is good. And with 36 seconds left in the first quarter, it's 7-6 Tigers.
Yeah, so again, Jim, you know, the Red Tornadoes, when they get the ball here on offense, they're going to be looking for another long drive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to put together another long drive. You want to take this well into the second quarter, maybe halfway through the second quarter, and get some points at the end of it before you give this ball back to this quick strike offense of the Tigers.
Yeah, and I think we talked about it at the outset, and I know you and I talked about it before, that 17 plays last week sounds ridiculous. I don't know that I read that right or whatever it was,
right.
But the point is, South Williamsport ran for, I think, 173 yards. They had the ball for a lot of the game, and lost, 49-7, 41-7?
Yeah.
41-7, yeah.
Yeah.
Because of plays like that.
Right, yeah. Long runs. I mean, you talked about Garcia, 4 carries for 107 yards and 3 touchdowns last week. So that's pretty impressive.
So we'll see how the Red Tornadoes do return in this one. Carter's going to kick it to Spears. Spears will take it. And they're going to fake the reverse to Diaz. Spears is going to try to get the corner. He does a good job returning it. He's going to get up around the 30-yard line. See, it looks like they're going to mark him down at the 28.
Yeah, Jim, unfortunately, again, I didn't catch the number out there, but somebody did a really nice job setting that edge there and giving Spears a corner to get, just to turn that into a little bit more than what he was going to have. So credit to whoever that was on that side that made that block. Looked like they caught one Tiger and actually ended up taking 2 of them out, which really helped open that up for Spears. So again, we'll see this Tornado offense and see if they can answer.
See here what's going on. The clock hasn't really started. The ball's not put in play just yet. The play clock, that is, hasn't started to wind yet.
Right.
And maybe it won't. All
There
right,
we
there
go.
it is.
Yeah, there we go.
1st and 10 Red Tornadoes. They trail 7-6 late in the first quarter. Stellar up over the 30. And with the way the Red Tornadoes have been operating here, Dan, that's probably the last play of the first quarter.
Yeah, I think so. I think and it looks like most players on the Tornadoes offense are going to be content with taking this to the quarter.
Yeah, but notice, except the Beef. The Beef's up on the line of scrimmage. They're ready to go.
Yeah, they're always ready to go, I think.
You see Kelly and Nestico out there, Deary Moser.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it. So that's the end of the first quarter. It's 7-6 Tigers here at Tiger Stadium in the PIAA Class 2A District 4 championship game. What a quarter.
Yeah, it's definitely been an exciting quarter. I mean, we've seen 2 electric plays happen. Stellar with the wildcat pass to Diaz for a touchdown. And then the blocked extra point, the unsuccessful onside kick, and then 3 plays later, the huge Gage Garcia, the big Gavin Garcia run for a long touchdown. So it's been the first 7 minutes, or I'm sorry, maybe 9 minutes of the first quarter were kind of, you know, it stayed 0-0, and then within a flash, it's a 7-6 game.
We'll see again. It looks like they gave him about 4, a long 3, we'll call it, on the first play. Stellar, or the last play of the first quarter, I should say. So it's going to be 2nd and 7. The ball rests just inside the 32-yard line.
Yeah, so we'll see what the Tornadoes opt to do here. I mean, I don't see any reason to kind of get away from what you've been doing through this thus far. So no reason to really throw in any wrinkles. What you've been doing has been working.
And so they'll give it back to Stellar. The Tigers are ready for that one. They'll stop him after maybe a yard.
Yeah, wasn't able to get much on that one. But, you know, again, now they're in this 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6 range where it's really – this is one of those plays where Coach Dara can kind of go either way. Do you want to throw? Do you want to pass? Do you want to go inside? Do you want to go outside? But I think the real option in your head at this point, if I'm Coach Dara, is do I want to go inside or outside? Do I not want to throw or run? You know, it's obviously going to be a run.
Yep. And it's going to be Farinado, and he's going to go right down quickly. Nice play made by, that's number 16, Michael Zito. Came in from his corner slot to drop Farinado after he gains about half a yard, so the Tornadoes are going to punt.
Yeah, and that's the thing with how tight the Red Tornadoes offense is set up. You have corners chasing plays down from the backside, and it's not that's not outlandish. They're playing at basically a defensive end spot, really.
Stellar's going to go high, booming punt well away from Garcia. It's a great punt, really. It's
really
going to land.
Punt.
It's going to stick right at the 29. We'll call it the 30. All right, but a good punt by Stellar with no return.
And again, that's what you want to do. You don't want the Tigers to have the ball around midfield. You know, you want them to have a long field to play with, but you also want to keep the ball away from Gavin Garcia. Right. You know, we saw that. You know, he hasn't taken a kick return and he hasn't taken a punt return yet, but the few times that he has touched the ball, he's made do with it.
Rose will be split out to the far side of the field for the Tigers. Otherwise, they'll stay tight. Kozlowski comes in motion. They'll give it to him. He's going to get the corner. Farinado will drag him down near the midfield. But it's a good effort there by Kozlowski to get the corner and get upfield.
Yeah, really good job. Looked like maybe a double move or something along those lines that kind of a little head fake that got him the corner there because didn't think he was going to get it initially.
Red Tornadoes do a little swap there. Kelly's going to go out. And it looks like
Kellen Geary, I believe.
Geary comes in, yep. And this time it's going to be Barnes, and Barnes he's going to do a nice job to get 2. But that'll be it, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and the downside for Barnes in this game, Jim, is he's pretty much running. He's always running between the tackles coming from that fullback spot. Kozlowski and Garcia are going to have a little bit more kind of open spaces to run because that's where Mount Carmel's beef is, and that's where the strength is of that defense is right in the middle. So Barnes is going to have it's going to be tough sledding for Barnes today unless the Tigers can do something to open them up.
This time it'll be Garcia. He's going to pick his way. He's going to try to get the corner. A lot of white jerseys there. Good job by the Red Tornadoes. They'll stop him. He won't, for no gain, it's going to be on that one.
And that's not something you see very often. You know, you see the dancing around and things like that. Normally, he's somehow comes out of a wash, comes out of a pile, and turns it into a big gain or at least a gain of something. You don't usually see him get stopped for no gain.
It was a good job over there by Diaz. Diaz and Bradley, I think, was on the far side that time. They kind of turned.
They set that edge out there, exactly.
Turned Garcia back in, and the rest of the cavalry came and hemmed them in.
Now, Diaz giving Rose a lot of space here.
Wise is going to throw now pass because of that space. So now you got to break down and make a tackle. Diaz does, but Rose is going to ride him up. He's going to pick up a first down.
Yes, he is, Jim, and that's one of those situations where Rose is dangerous, so you have to give him space. But I think if I'm Coach Dara, I'm shading one of the safeties to to wherever Rose is and having Diaz play him tight, chucking him off the line. Because if you remember correctly, Wise was not the quarterback at the start of the season.
Right.
Wise is kind of the replacement. He's had some weeks to come into his own, but I want to throw off any sort of timing I can defensively.
This time they're going to give it to Barnes, and Barnes is going to bounce to the outside there. It's a good run by Barnes. He's going to get down near the 30. He'll be very close to another Tiger first down.
Yeah, and that's the only place where Barnes is going to find any open space, and he does a good job bouncing outside and making a nice run out of it.
Be about a yard shy of the first down on that one.
Yeah, we'll see. All that wash, guys getting caught up there in the inside. If these Tigers are not stopped up right away, they're going to be able to find room. They're good backs and they have good vision.
It's going to be Barnes right up the middle there. He'll get 6 down to the 25 for a first down. So we approach 8-minute mark here in the second quarter. The Tigers up 7-6 and driving.
Yeah, but Jim, we kind of talked about it earlier on. This is where you want to be for Mount Carmel. If the Tigers are going to drive the ball down the field, you want it to take time off the clock, because that's just less time that they have to get the ball back.
This time it was Losky. Good stop there by the Red Tornadoes, Feliciano and Davitt.
Yeah, Feliciano again doing a good job. With how tight things are, like you said, the safeties are up near the line of scrimmage and pretty much playing a linebacker spot.
Right.
So Feliciano does a really good job. The DN sets the edge and he fills and does really well. And it looks like we're doing beef on beef again here for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah. So what they're going to do is they're going to bring Kelly in. Diaz will go to the sideline. They're going to bring Feliciano down as the other corner, and they'll have a single high safety in Farinato. And they're going to give it to Garcia. He's going to try to get the edge. Widener does a good job of sending him back inside, but Garcia finds his way through, and he's in for a touchdown from 22 yards out. It's 13-6 Tigers.
Yeah, and just as quickly as we say, they've been making them work for it, and making them earn that drive. The Red Tornadoes do pretty much all they can defensively there. You said they set the edge well. They turned Garcia back inside, but as he went kind of back across the grain, there was nobody home.
Yep. Big extra point here from Carter. It's up, and it is good. So it's going to be an 8-point game here, 14-6 Tigers.
Yeah, so now, Jim, the upside for the Red Tornadoes, we want to look at the upside here, is that you're getting the ball back. You've got 7 minutes to drive the length of the field. And with the way that their drives have gone, they're gonna run some clock. They're gonna run some time off the clock. You want to put points on the board here to finish the half out, but you also don't want to give the ball back to the Tigers before going into halftime.
Yeah, that's the tricky part. And I remember a couple weeks ago, Tom Brady was on the Manning cast of the Monday Night Football game.
Yeah.
And they asked him, when did you decide to start your 2-minute offense? And he made the point that the number one goal in that setting wasn't necessarily to score points. It was to not give the ball back.
And that's exactly what it is.
And again, it's a little bit different here. You got 7 minutes, but the reality is for the Red Tornadoes, this is how they found themselves in trouble over the years.
Yep.
Where whether you have a good drive and you score and you leave too much time, or you take time off and don't score.
Right.
The Tigers catch one at the end of the half, and then to start the third quarter, and all of a sudden you're down 3.
Exactly.
You're down 3 scores.
Yeah, and that's not at all what the Red Tornadoes want to be dealing with here.
Carter's going to kick that one to Spears. He'll take it at the 10. He does it was a nice move.
Yeah, it was.
Thought he was going to get the corner a little more than he did. Nice play by the Tigers there to stop him up. It'll be 1st and 10 Mount Carmel from the 24.
Yeah, Jim, I'm not sure if this is just the way that Carter kicks the ball or what, but it seems like Tigers really trying to not kick the ball to Diaz back there deep. And, we talked about how electric he's been, pretty much since he's kind of stormed onto the scene with this Red Tornado offense. And we're going to see Diaz in there right away at the wing with Davitt next to Feliciano.
Yeah, Diaz averaging 18.4 yards a carry coming into this game. And Feliciano's going to keep it himself. There's nowhere to go. He's going to go down quickly. Try to get some jersey numbers in there from the Tigers. It was well defended.
Yeah, it was.
Going to lose a yard, actually, to be 2nd and 11.
And as Feliciano was coming this way, it looked like he had a little bit of a hole, and it closed up quickly. And he tried to bounce it back, and unfortunately went backwards and wasn't able to get anything.
This time it's Diaz, and he's just going to bounce inside. He's going to be drugged down from behind. Nice play made by Fedorov and Zito.
Yeah, a little 4-yard pickup there from Diaz, which, you know, again, the Tigers doing a really good job of kind of hemming things in, not giving up the corner. I haven't seen them give up the corner at all today. And that's what you need to do, especially against a guy like Diaz, because once he gets to the sideline, he's really tough to catch.
So it's 3rd and 7 from their own 28. Again, the Red Tornadoes desperately need to pick up a first down here. You can't give the ball back to the Tigers just yet. Feliciano's going to keep it himself up the middle, and he's going to be stuck a few times. He'll get 3 out to the 31, but it'll be well short of the first down, and the Red Tornadoes are going to need to punt here again.
Yeah, that's really well defended there up the middle. You said the linebackers, the defensive ends, and the defensive line doing a really nice job, kind of just holding their ground and not giving way there. And you know, like we talked about, this is exactly what the Red Tornadoes didn't want to do.
Right.
And they're going to be giving the Tigers the ball back with, you know, right around 5 minutes to play, and that's too much time.
Garcia set himself up in the middle of the field to try to be able to get wherever he needs to be. Steller's kick will again go out of bounds. We'll see where he stops walking. So he's going to be out to the 43. So not terrible, but again, pretty good field position for the Tigers.
Yeah, good field position and plenty of time with all their timeouts remaining in the half. So the Red Tornadoes really need to they need to play almost like a prevent type thing here. Do not give up a big play.
Yeah.
That's how these Tigers score. They score on big plays. Don't give up a big play.
Tigers are going to spread it out a little bit here. They'll have 2 receivers. Now they'll send Garcia in motion. They're going to give it to him. He's going to won't be stopped, that's for sure. Finally will be, but my goodness, they had him dead to rights in the backfield, and he's going to gain 5.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive run there. You're right, Jim. I thought they had him stacked up right away, but was able to kind of dance out of danger and get anything out of that. It was pretty impressive. Dan,
you wonder, so they've got number 8 Jake Kozlowski out there, and when they go with the 2 wide receiver sets, is that designed to spread the Red Tornadoes out a little bit and soften them up in the middle?
I think that's exactly what it is, because you saw it looked like Garcia wanted to turn that upfield early. He didn't want the corner. He wanted to go inside.
This time it's Kozlowski. And David will get him by the shoestring. But it was a good run by Kozlowski for a first down into Red Tornado territory. Yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing. Instead of the Red Tornadoes having the corner in there as a extra defensive end almost to kind of set the edge, they're taking the corners out of the equation, so now the defensive end has to set the edge there, and they're able to kind of turn that up inside and pick their way up the field a little bit. They're just trying to get away from that defensive line and those inside linebackers. And it's Barnes. He's going to get across inside the 40 to the 30. I'm going to call it the 38. It's going to be a gain of another 5.
Yeah, it looked like Kellen Geary kind of from his nose guard spot there got a shoestring there, made a nice tackle for a short gain, because if Barnes got past that tackle by Geary, there wasn't much going on in the middle there.
I'm actually give him 4, so it'll be 2nd and 6. 3:15 left in the second quarter. And they're going to give it to Kozlowski. Going to get another first down. He'll get down. Let's see where they mark him out of bounds. It's 26. So the Tigers on the move.
Yeah, and they're driving, and they're having a lot of success on this drive. You know, and again, it's not up the middle. You know, it's on the outside here. So defensively, the Red Tornadoes need to tighten up on the edge here. Their edge defense. They need to get some stops.
Now it's Garcia, and he'll be dropped, but we're going to get a flag there against the Red Tornadoes as he ducked under a tackle, and he got his that Garcia ducked under a tackle and got his face mask grabbed.
Yeah, whether he got his face mask grabbed or his helmet smacked is you know, something that maybe the people at home can watch and kind of get a good look at. But they're definitely going to get called for a face mask here, even though it may not have been one. I think the discussion now is it the 15-yard version or a 5-yard?
Just going to be the 5-yard. With the 15, we would have seen a personal foul call.
Correct, yeah.
So they move the ball to the 21, so it's 1st and 5. Again, the Red Tornadoes do a good job of bottling Garcia up on that one, and the Tigers will get 5 yards and a 1st down. Garcia there, he's going to run, he's going to be stopped up.
Yeah, he gets the 1st down, but good job gang tackling there by the Red Tornadoes, even though it is downfield. They did a nice job of not letting him kind of get away. Usually he sneaks out of those tackles.
There's a Red Tornado down on the field. I know we do process of elimination a lot. Possibly Schultz.
Yeah, I'm thinking Schultz as well, because I do not see a 15.
But again, tonight's sponsored Winnie the Pooh Daycare. I want to thank them for the partnership, for the support. We can put this terrific TV studio on display here. 2:38 left in the first half. 14-6 Tigers. Red Tornado down on the field. When the play resumes, it's going to be 1st and 10 Tigers from the 14.
Yeah, and again, this is actually, you know, normally I said on the last drive that this is what the Red Tornadoes want to do. They want to force the Tigers to put together long drives, put together drives that eat up some clock. But in this situation, when the Tigers got the ball back with, you know, 5 minutes to play, if they do end up scoring on this drive, it would have been better for them to score early to give the Red Tornadoes at least one more possession. And it was Schultz down in the play, and he's walking off the field under his own power, so that's good. We'll see him back out here soon.
So we'll see here, Dan. Again, and the interesting thing on that play was Garcia is such a shifty runner. He does such a good job breaking tackles that the refs kind of have to let those plays go a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, they do.
So you had a big pile there that maybe you don't always see in today's game, but that's going to be Barnes. And Barnes is in. So Barnes scores from 14 yards out. I don't really know how he snuck in and out, but we're going to get a hold against the Tigers.
Yeah, so that's gonna negate that touchdown, and it's right at the line of scrimmage too. So that's going to go from a 1st and 10 from the 14 to 1st and 20, Jim. So that's a big swing there for the Red Tornadoes.
You can see for them to walk it off here. Yep, so there's the official hold sign. They're going to walk it off. Like you said, Dan, it was right at the line of scrimmage, so they're going to walk it back to the 24. Just as expected, 1st and 20 now with 2:21 left.
So that's big there for the Red Tornadoes. And again, you know, this is similar to a situation we saw in the previous game, where the Tigers actually got a 1st down on a 15-yard personal foul penalty after being 3rd and goal from the 24, so 25 or somewhere.
So that's going to be Wisłowski. He'll go inside that time and be dropped by Feliciano after a relatively short gain down to the 20, give him 4.
Yeah, Feliciano does a good job there making the tackle. Credit to Kellen Geary, too, coming from the inside. Just missed getting Wisłowski, but he was able to get a hand on a foot, and I think it was enough to kind of let Wisłowski know he was there, and then Feliciano came up and filled and made a nice tackle.
Again, this 2-wide set from the Tigers. Wisłowski in motion. It's going to be a reverse. The ball's on the ground, and the Red Tornadoes need to get on it.
Oh, I think the Tigers
were
able to get it back.
My goodness, what an effort by Wisłowski to rip that ball away. They tried to reverse there, Dan, and there was trouble with the handoff because the Red Tornadoes blew it up in the backfield.
Jim, as soon as they spread things out and sent Wisłowski in motion, Davitt and Stellar both fired their gaps from the linebacker spot. I could see it coming. They almost Troy Polamalu'd it and looked like they were going to be going over the top as the ball was snapped. But you're right, because of the reverse play there, took too much time, and Stellar blew that play up.
So this is 3rd and about 30. The Red Tornadoes just have to be careful here and make a play, and that's going to be a touchdown for Garcia. And again, on a 3rd and forever, the Red Tornadoes can't hem them in, and they're going to go down 2 scores, 20-6, with 1:22 left in the first half.
And like you said, Jim, you know, you have 3rd and that long. All you have to do is not let them get, 30-plus yards. And unfortunately for the Red Tornadoes, like you said, that cut back across the grain again, which is kind of Garcia's, that's his play. That's his move. He gets to, finds the crease, and then he cuts back against players because there's just less guys to deal with there. But we'll see what the conversation is here now with the officials. Is it we have a clock issue, I'm wondering? Because there's no flag on the play.
Right. It's not like a huge hullabaloo either.
No.
A lot of times when you have the clock issue, the official will come and will be very demonstrative towards the press box. So I'm not really sure what that was.
Yeah, it looked like something they were just talking to Coach Roth about. It seems like that happens pretty often as well. But they did put a few extra seconds on the clock.
So Carter's kick is up, and that's going to be good too. So it's 21-6 Tigers here with 1:15 left in the first half of the District 4 Class 2A championship game.
So, Jim, I got to ask. If you're Coach Dara, you get this kickoff, what are you doing?
Listen, here's the deal. We're down 15 right now.
Correct.
Okay?
Yeah.
I would say what I've seen over the last 3 possessions is that we're struggling to get stops.
Yeah.
So I have no, I don't know that I can confidently say, let's run out the clock and regroup. I think if I've got a play that I like, the stellar pass, right? You love that one, so you go to it. If there's something I've got that I haven't shown yet, I might give it a shot depending on where I am on the field. If you have a problem with the return, the ball's at the 15, no. If you can get out to the 30, maybe you take a chance. I don't think you can just let this time run off the clock and say we'll get them in the second half.
Yeah, I like that idea, especially with the Tigers getting the ball to start the second half, which, I don't like that the way it is. You don't want to give them the ball right away because that seems like when Coach Roth makes all his adjustments at halftime, they come out and they score quick, and then they score often in the second half.
So Spears is going to have a little trouble with the return there, and he's going to be dropped by Zito. Nice job there.
And a little push there way after the whistle, but no flag, so that's all right.
So it's a good job by Zito to make a tackle. And now Dan with 1:06 and the ball on the 14.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I would say
here I'm running the clock out. Yeah. I'm either kneeling on the ball or I'm giving it to somebody sure-handed, Stellar, somebody else.
Well, yeah, you got to pick up a first down because Coach Roth has 3 timeouts.
That is correct. That is correct. He does.
And it's going to be Stellar off the right side.
Yeah, we'll see what Coach Roth opts to do. It doesn't look like he's going to be using the timeouts here. So I think unless there's a quick third down, which the Red Tornadoes are probably going to let the play clock wind down, and take this to the half. So.
Yeah, I think if it had been obvious that, a knee or something like that, then maybe. But,
yeah, right.
But no, because Coach Roth is a smart guy. You don't want to give them an opportunity to stop the clock, give them potentially more plays.
Absolutely. I agree.
Feliciano's going to keep it himself up the middle. So a good effort there. Will be close to the first down.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to have it. He might be just short.
The Red Tornadoes don't need to run another play. And I have a hard time believing they will.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting back up on the line here pretty quickly.
They are going to snap it. They'll give it to Stellar. And regardless of the outcome, there's zeros on the clock here. So that's going to be the end of the first half here at Tigers Stadium. The Tigers are on top of the Red Tornadoes 21-6. We'll be back in a few minutes with stats in the second half. Stay with us.
Jennifer Melnick, color guard instructor. Chris Steller, music and marching instructor. Linda Haas, assistant color guard instructor. Luke Darrap, music and marching instructor. And Kelly Lucas, music and marching instructor. We would like to thank Cameron Getty, Marissa Manikaitis, Andrew Rooney, Ryan Green, the Mount Carmel Area School Board and Administration, and especially the Mount Carmel Area band parents for their continued invaluable support. The band would like to recognize the late Paul Prof. Semichik, legendary Mount Carmel Area Mounties director, who wrote the brass and woodwind arrangements for portions of our show. And now, we invite you to sit back and enjoy the 2021 edition of the Mount Carmel Area High School Big Red Band.
Hello and welcome back to Tiger Stadium for the second half of the District 4 Class 2A championship game between the Southern Columbia Red Tornadoes and the Southern Columbia Tigers
Yeah.
and the Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes. Tigers on top 21-6. Dan, I think courtesy of Jose, you got some stats for us, right?
Yes, we do. So for the Red Tornadoes, 23 carries for 67 yards. And, of course, the big play for the touchdown, Julian Steller and the Red Tornadoes total, 1 of 1 for 31 yards on that touchdown from Steller to Diaz. So for a total of 98 yards and 4 first downs for the Red Tornadoes. Over on the Tiger side, 21 carries for 188 yards, 1 of 2 passing for 10 yards. So that puts them at 198 total and 9 first downs.
Yeah, so the damage, a lot of that yardage. So you got 3 Garcia touchdown runs of 49, 22, and about 32.
Yeah.
That's a big chunk there, and again, those are the points the Tigers have put up on the board. It started with a bang.
Yeah.
Right, Red Tornadoes come out, have a good drive, ultimately have to give the ball back to the Tigers. But you get a quick 3 now, you get the ball back, you score.
Yep.
You go up 6-0, and then it's been all Tigers from there.
Yeah, Jim, you know, it started right away after that score. The unsuccessful onside kick. Tigers have really good starting field position, and 2-3 plays later, Garcia goes, like you said, for 49 yards and then the extra point to take the lead, and then they haven't given it back since then.
Yep, so we'll see what starts here. I mean, this is really, again, the Red Tornadoes are 24 minutes, 2 quarters away from their season ending if they don't find a way to make up a 15-point deficit here. So this first drive is going to be a gut check. This is it. I think if the Tigers take the football, go down the field and score, make it 27-6 or 28-6, it's going to be tough for Mount Carmel to get back on track and claw their way back into this one.
Yeah, 100%, Jim. And I'm preaching that to my defense as well. Like I'm telling them this is the play that determines whether you play next week or not. You know, or at least gives you an opportunity to play next week or not. If you want your season to end here on this field, then give up points on this drive, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, and it's unfortunate because, like you said, 24 minutes of play, that's a lot of time.
Yeah, it is,
But that's also a 3-score deficit is a lot to overcome in that amount of time.
Well, and I think, again, it's a big part of that is the Red Tornadoes. You know, the Red Tornadoes did a good job of kind of limiting possessions in the first half.
Yeah.
The Tigers had only 4 possessions in the first half.
Yeah.
But they scored on 3 of them.
Correct. And that's the whole thing, too. And, you know, we talked about the Red Tornadoes offense. They're not an offense built to score quickly.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you're down 3 scores and you need in 24 minutes, you can't put together, you know, you need to have the ball for the entire 24 minutes if you're going to put together 3 8-minute long drives. You know what I mean? So there's really no option at that point. You either have to do something different offensively, but you don't want to do anything different offensively. This is your offense. So you're right. Gut check, need a stop, and pinning the Tigers deep here to get started. Some good kick coverage, or just a good deep kickoff from Steller is the way to get things started, I think, for the Red Tornadoes.
Looks like, and we didn't get a good look at this before, so it's Garcia's the deep man, and is that?
I think it's Wisłowski. I think it's either Wisłowski or Rose.
And Steller's just going to dump it. It's going to be taken by number 22. That's Matt Masala, senior, so he'll get up across the 40 to the 43. Pretty good field position there for the Tigers.
Yeah, and again, I mean, a little better this time around, I think, from the Red Tornadoes because you want to kick the ball away from those dangerous deep guys. But again, good starting field position. If you're going to kick it like that, try and pop that up in the air, maybe force a fair catch or catch it and drop immediately. But Diaz does a good job covering, and we'll see this Red Tornado defense.
It's Wisłowski. Farinato makes a good tackle, but Wisłowski will pick up about 5 out to the 49.
Yeah, that's a really good tackle there by Farinato. But again, when your defensive backs are making tackles, unless they're making tackles at the line of scrimmage, it usually means that you know, the running back's picking up some good yardage to get things started.
Yeah, it's actually going to wind up being 7 there. Ball just shy of midfield, so it'll be 2nd and 3. It'll be Barnes, and Davitt will do a good job upending him, but I think he's going to propel him forward for a first down.
Yeah, he kind of flipped forward, and you're right, he got enough for the first down there. So, you know, a fresh set of downs here for the Tigers. And, you know, we don't like to talk doom and gloom, but you're right. The further that the Tigers get into tornado territory, the kind of the dreams of this Red Tornadoes team slowly fade.
1st and 10. Ball sits at the 46. Garcia comes in motion. Wise is going to throw it. And he's got Rose deep. And he's caught it. And he's in for a touchdown. 46 yards out, Wise to Rose. They connected for 55 last week, 46 this week. It's 27-6 Tigers.
And you're right, Jim. Rose got behind Diaz there a little bit. No help over the top there for Diaz. Manned up all by himself. The little play action, and Wise throws a nice ball, and Rose just the height advantage. He goes up and gets it over top of Diaz there. Diaz did a really good job recovering. The throw was a little behind Rose, but it's the height advantage. He kind of just went up and took it from him.
Carter's kick is up and good. So 1 minute and 19 seconds into the 3rd quarter, the Tigers strike. It's 28-6 Southern.
So you want to look for the bright side for the Red Tornadoes is how quickly those points were scored. You know, we talked about it, because now you're down 3 scores. You need as much time as possible with the way that you run your offense to put some drives together and narrow this deficit.
Well, like we talked about it, this is the 4th time in the last 5 years that these two teams have met on this field for a district championship. Excuse me.
Yep.
Not to mention, with the exception of last year, they've also played 4 times in the regular season.
Yeah.
2 of them here. So in the last 8 times they've met up, 6 of them have been here.
True.
And I don't have the stats. I'll be honest. I'd be curious to go back and look at some game logs. But it seems like you could set your watch by the fact that the Tigers are going to get the ball to start the second half, and they're going to score early in the 3rd quarter to kind of expand a lead.
Yeah, you're 100% right, and that's the way it's been, and that's the way it continues to be tonight.
That's going to be to Farinato this time, it looks like. He'll get across the 25 to the 26. So that's where the Red Tornadoes will start working back against this 22-point deficit.
And Jim, it looks like we're going to open things up here, the Red Tornadoes, as we saw both Stellar and Davitt head to the sideline, and they are. We've got, looks like Spears on the outside to the right, and Farinato deep to the left here, or wide to the left.
Widener will stay back there with Feliciano. Feliciano, it's a design draw. He'll get a few out to the 29, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, did a good job fighting forward for a couple there, but again, you know, it seems like it's a good little mix up there, because normally you see this set from the Red Tornadoes, they're going to put the ball in the air.
Right. Red Tornadoes look for a little tempo here. They got right up on the line and then went to the wristband play call. And now Feliciano's going to throw. It's a quick out to Farinato. Good coverage there by number 33, Connor Gallagher.
Yeah, that was covered well. Farinato did a good job kind of coming back for it, for that pass. Feliciano does a good job keeping it away from the Tigers defenders, because there wasn't a ton of separation. But, you know, Farinato's a tough guy to tackle in space, and Gallagher did a really nice job of breaking down and making the play.
3rd and 3 now. Feliciano's going to keep that one himself. We'll have a first down. Good effort there to make sure the ball stayed with the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, and Jim, it's tough too. Looking from up here, sometimes it seems like there's so much more space there in the middle of the field. It looks like, oh, Feliciano's got one cut and he's going to break it open. and there's always just a Tiger there to slow him down enough for the cavalry to get there.
Like we said before, between Garcia, Garrett, that is, and Dominic Fedorov, those guys have 254 tackles amongst them coming into tonight. So they can close the gap pretty quick as the Red Tornadoes snap it to Widener here for a gain of 3.
Yeah, you're 100% right about that. They definitely can close distance quick, and that's like a staple of this Tigers defense, and it has been for years. You got 2 really tough inside linebackers that cover a lot of ground laterally.
Yeah, we didn't really get to see them last year, but you think the year before it was Tillett and Halliday.
Yeah, which was a great combination in the defensive secondary.
Feliciano's going to roll out and throw now. He's going to take off. There's nowhere to go. He puts his head down. He'll pick up a couple.
Yeah, unfortunately, with him kind of bowling somebody over there, it was Berlitz actually able to catch him from behind, chase him down because it slowed him down enough. But he did a good job. And again, it seemed like as he broke contain there on the outside, he had a ton of room there. But as soon as he got out there, it seemed like the defensive backs kind of came out of coverage and went after him.
Yeah, he really only ended up gaining a yard there, so it's going to be 3rd and 6. 7:45 left in the third quarter, 28-6 Tigers. 3rd and 6 ball on the Red Tornado 42. Feliciano to throw. He's under pressure immediately. He's going to go down. Looks like it was Berlitz first on scene.
Yeah.
Berlitz came in tonight with 9 sacks. He led the Tiger defense. It looks like he picked up his 10th right there.
Yeah, that was a tough one there for Feliciano. It seemed like early on in this drive, the few times that he dropped back, he had some time. And there it looked like the Tigers just kind of brought a blitz, maybe some stunts up front, and they were able to break through pretty quickly.
Stellar to punt. No rush. It's a high punt. It's going to be a little shorter. Garcia's going to come right up and catch it right in front of Spears. Spears does a good job hanging on, so there'll be maybe a 2-yard return and just falling forward.
Yeah, good job there by Spears. You're right. And making sure he didn't get there too early, but also making the sure tackle there as well. Because anytime Garcia fields a punt, you kind of hold your breath if you're on the opposing sideline.
So 1st and 10 at the 41. Expect more of the same from the Tigers.
Yeah.
It's Barnes, and Chicatano's going to drop him for a big loss.
Yeah, Chicatano does a real nice job there, kind of getting a shoulder pad or a piece of jersey there and hanging on and slinging Barnes down there. Really nice job.
Yeah, you're right about spacing and whatnot, Dan, because he's going to lose 2 there. I thought it was more. Seemed to got the angles wrong tonight, I guess.
Yeah. It happens, though. It's all right. We'll let it slide. We're able to pick it back up, and people at home know where it's at.
Now it's Garcia. He's going to get to the outside. He's just going to run out of room over there. They'll force him out of bounds at the 46-yard line, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
And again, this is a 3rd down situation here where it's big for the Red Tornadoes. You have to get a stop. There's really not any ifs, ands, or buts about it. You need a stop here because that clock keeps ticking away, and you need to get the ball back for your offense.
Wise is going to throw the now to Rose. And Rose is going to do a good job. He's a big, strong kid. He'll have the 1st down and more into Red Tornado territory. Down to the 30. We'll see what they say when out of bounds. It's going to be the 37 or 38-yard line.
And again, Jim, I mean, if I'm Coach Roth, and I get in the situation where I have to throw the ball, I'm going to continue to throw those now routes with the the Red Tornado defense, the corners playing at 10 yards deep.
Right.
So it's pretty much a no-brainer to make that play call there because you just get your guy in space, and when it's a 3rd and 5, you're giving him 10.
Right. So the Tigers are going to go open again. This is where they had success getting the edge They're going to give it to Garcia. And he's going to go right up the middle. And now he's going to bounce to the outside. Red Tornadoes are going to do a good job hanging on to him. But again, he's going to get a first down. He's going to pick up about, looks like 20, down 21 maybe, down to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, now if we watch closely here, you know, quarterback Blake Wise running to the sideline to get the play call, running back in the huddle. No rush here from the Tigers offense. And at this point in time, no need to.
Gain of 15 down to the 22. They're going to give it to Barnes up the middle. Get across the 15 to the 14, pick up 8, 2nd and 2.
Feliciano doing a good job in, you know, kind of run support here this game. He's been in a lot of tackles. But again, you know, most of them have been around the line of scrimmage. This one, 8 yards downfield, is a little bit more of a tough one there.
Rose split out by himself to the field side. They're going to give it to Wislowski. He's going to run out of real estate there on the sideline, but I think he's going to pick up the first down based on where they're marked. Yeah, they'll say he got to the 10, so it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, and he did only need 2 there, but good job by Stellar. I mean, Wislowski's a quick kid. He's got a lot of speed, and Stellar kind of ran him to the sidelines and used that boundary as an extra defender there, and didn't really give him anywhere to go. But unfortunately, did get the first down.
And it's Barnes up the middle. He's going to get tripped up by Feliciano and finished off by Farinado.
Yeah, and again, that looked like that hole opened up big time there. But you're right, Feliciano got just enough of them, and then Farinado did a good job finishing it out.
Some changes there for the Red Tornadoes. Kelly's going to come in, as is Geary.
Yeah.
This time it's Barnes, and he's got the outside, and he's in from 5 yards out. It's 34-6 Tigers.
Yeah, and again, the Tigers just continue to add on, continue to extend their lead as, you know, this third quarter is beginning to kind of wane away from the Red Tornadoes, and you know, any hopes of moving on the next week going with it.
Carter on for the extra point. It's a high snap. Rose takes it. He's going to roll out. Now he's going to try to run in. He's going to get stopped short. So nice play by looks like Farinado and Geary out there.
Yeah.
But it'll stay 34-6. So Dan, a couple things here.
Yeah.
So number one, Isaac Carter made me think there's a pretty big member of the Red Tornado family that's not here tonight, Winks Carter.
Yeah.
So Winks, hope you're listening. Hope you're doing well. Happy to hear that you're listening.
Absolutely.
But the other side of that is, so it's 34-6 right now. Red Tornadoes come in, most prolific rushing attack in history.
Yeah.
In Mount Carmel history. One of the things that we talked about at the outset was this Tiger defense.
Yeah.
So coming in tonight, they played 12 games. There were 7 games where they gave up 7 points or fewer, 3 of them being shutouts. Certainly, this is still in that category for right now. Right. If the Red Tornadoes aren't able to put another score on the board, it'll go to 8-13.
Yeah.
And there's a youth movement on that defensive side between Garcia and Fedorov.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we talked about it. Garrett Garcia, a sophomore, and Fedorov, a freshman. So that and that, you know, we talked about their combined tackles coming into this game for the season. It's impressive.
So the Red Tornadoes switched up their returners there. They put Diaz on the other side, and he got the football. Nice little shifty return there out to the 29, but he does get up limping.
Yeah, and he is down now. As we'll get an official time to check him out.
Tried to get himself off the field. wasn't able to do so. But, yep, and again, tonight's game, courtesy sponsored by Winnie the Pooh Daycare.
Yep.
We got an event coming up with St. Pauline Center December 11th. So make sure you get yourself there. Check that out. Should be a good time, especially for the little ones. And then we talked about this throughout the season, and I know we mentioned it last week as well. So it's Friday night. Here's what you're going to want to do Monday morning. You're going to want to get on the horn, call the Mount Carmel Area School District, 570-339-1500. And you're going to want to make a donation to the WKMC TV studio. 2 reasons. Number one, if the Red Tornadoes are able to turn this around, that could help keep everything live and streaming next week. If the Tigers end up being victorious, it's a nice little thank you to the TV studio for all the efforts throughout the season to keep you warm and dry at different times in your house and enjoy just a great product.
And Jim, 2 things I just want to point out: some area teams battling it out tonight as well. You know, outside of the Tornadoes and the Tigers, and we'll talk about that after Carmel runs their play here.
Back to the shotgun double wing. They have David in there where Wider usually is, but they'll hand it to Stellar. He's going to get to the 34. It'll be a gain of 5.
Yeah, so you look at the District 4 AAA championship game being played right now. Danville against Montoursville. Danville's currently ahead 21-14 at the half.
Okay.
And then we talk about North Schuylkill. The only other loss that the Red Tornadoes have this season, outside of their loss to Southern, was North Schuylkill, and they're currently down 14-0 to Newman Goretti in the 3rd quarter.
Wow. All right. Now you got Farinato, and he's got the corner. Good job by Rose, forcing him back inside, but it'll be a first down for the Red Tornadoes. And yeah, Dan, you talked about Danville. Again, just a friendly reminder out there, Danville coached by former Red Tornado head coach Mike Brennan.
Yes.
So certainly wish him success.
Yes, always rooting for Coach Brennan.
There's probably 1 week a year that we're not.
right, yeah, that's for sure.
But it's going to be Stellar. A little slow developing there.
Yeah.
We'll get a yard to the 45. As we've got a minute 40 left in the 3rd quarter, the Tigers on top 34-6.
And again, Jim, you see the Red Tornadoes on this drive, even though they're down another score here, going back to the bread and butter.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this is where your offense works. This is what makes your offense work. Spreading things out on the last drive didn't really pay dividends as much as Coach Dare had hoped for. So, you know, going back to the normal run-heavy offense is going to chew a little bit more clock, but it's what works.
Well, and Feliciano's going to throw, almost intercepted and then almost caught by Chicatano, but nevertheless it'll hit the turf. It's going to be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, that looked like Gallagher, number 33, Connor Gallagher, in coverage there on Chicatano. Did a really good job of kind of coming underneath that.
Yeah.
But it was able to get over top of him. Unfortunately, he caused just enough of a distraction for it to get through Chicatano's hands there.
Well, between the play Gallagher made on the ball and then it ultimately being incomplete, it's that reminder that when you throw the football, 3 things can happen and 2 of them are bad.
Yeah, most definitely. And now we're going to see Tornadoes open things up here, 3rd and long.
And this is where Berlitz was able to eat before, because you know the Red Tornadoes have to throw and you come with the blitz. They try to set up a screen, but it just got too far out there. The Tigers got up underneath the blocks. It was a nice tackle made by Gallagher.
Yeah, and
Garcia. That was, I thought it was 33. It was 23.
Yeah, and now you know, the Red Tornadoes up around the 50-yard line. This point in the game, got to go for it here. So we'll see them stay spread open, and hopefully Feliciano can get enough time to kind of make something happen here. At least get a ball out, and you know, hopefully into the waiting hands of a Red Tornado across that 1st down line.
Yeah, you know, you can see the Tigers, they're going to fire. Feliciano under pressure almost immediately. He's going to run. Now he's got to run for the 1st down. He's going to pick it up. So a good individual effort there. He had Garcia and Fedorov in pursuit, but couldn't get him, and Feliciano got out of bounds for a 1st down.
And, Jim, that may have actually been I don't know. I can't say for sure, but that may have been a designed quarterback run there for Feliciano, because you had both of your guys that were running routes out there running deep, running their corner and safety off, which once Feliciano was able to get the edge, they had their backs turned, running away from them. So that was a really good play. Feliciano did a good job.
Clock stopped with Feliciano going out of bounds. With 12 seconds left, so this will likely be the last play of the quarter. Red Tornadoes will stay open. And now this is a designed QB draw, and Feliciano will get near a first down again. He'll get down to the 30.
Yeah, and again, as the Red Tornadoes are kind of spreading things out here, it's opening things up a little bit for Feliciano.
And that's the end of the third quarter. So after, with 36 minutes of this one in the books, the Tigers hold a commanding 34-6 lead here in the District 4 Class 2A championship.
But the Red Tornadoes are driving, and you know, we talked about it at the second half, or at the as we came back for the half, that you know, the Red Tornadoes unfortunately are not a team built to score quick.
Right.
So being down 4 scores at this point in the game is usually it's usually a pretty much a sentence that this game's going to be over. But with the Red Tornadoes driving right now, Jim, and if they're able to score one quick within the first 2 minutes of this quarter, and get out there and attempt the onside kick. If you remember the Loyal Sock game, the Red Tornadoes were able to recover 2 consecutive onside kicks. If you're able to score quick, get the onside, or score quick, get the onside, or score quick, you're in a 1-score game at that point.
Stranger things have been seen this year.
Absolutely.
But for now, it's 2nd and 1. And Feliciano going to throw. He's looking for Farinato. There's a little confusion there. Farinato was going inside. Feliciano threw it outside, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, and it looked like Farinato was trying to kind of look for that leverage, and he found that leverage on the inside. You're right. It seemed like Feliciano was trying to throw it to the outside corner there and maybe back shoulder it for Farinato, just not on the same page.
So now again, 3rd down. The Red Tornadoes are up against 2 enemies here. Well, I guess 3 if you count the Tigers. It's down in the clock.
Yeah, yeah.
So while you try to throw to pick up yardage in chunks, you also got to get this 1st down. So it'll be Feliciano, and he'll have the 1st down. And more. He does a good job staying on his feet. He'll get down to the 20. It's going to be a gain of about 9.
Yeah, that's a real nice job there by Feliciano. Like you said, I think that, kind of spreading things open a little bit and plus, like you said, the clock and the situation that the Red Tornadoes are in, being down this big right now, I think that's one of those situations where the Tigers are kind of sitting back, laying back a little bit, expecting a throw. So when you hit him with that draw, Feliciano's able to get a little bit more.
Ball sits at the 21. And they're going to give it to Spears on a reverse. And Spears had to get deep to get around Garcia. It'll be positive yardage, but probably not as much as the Red Tornadoes hoped for.
Right.
Good effort there by Garcia from behind. And it looks like Gallagher came out of coverage to make the tackle.
Yeah, Jim, anytime they bring Spears on any sort of pitch deep into the backfield, I just wonder to myself, is he gonna look to throw?
Right.
So with Spears being the backup quarterback, is he gonna look to put this one in the air? But that time, just trying to get your speed guy the ball on the edge. But you're right, the Tigers rallied to it pretty well.
Now it's Feliciano back up the middle again. Pick up a few. And Dan, another thing, it's going to be 3rd and picked up more than I thought. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, he's going to be closer to the 1st down than I thought as well.
There's a Tiger down on the play. Fortunately, it looks like he's going to try to get up and get off the field, which is good.
Yeah.
One thing, again, we'll hear from Jose at the end of this one from a stats standpoint. But Feliciano came into the game. He had 893 yards, 894 yards in the season rushing.
Yeah.
That was good enough for 3rd all-time amongst quarterbacks. 2nd of all-time was Nick Sebas at 940. First was Greg Doviak at 1070. I don't think he's going to catch Doviak tonight, barring some crazy run breaks here. But
right.
The Sebas thing,
he might be close, Jim.
Right, he needs about 45, 50 yards to get there. And there's going to be a 1st down for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, they brought Stellar in. He puts his shoulder down and gets the first down. So we'll see now, in this goal-to-go situation here, what the Red Tornadoes ought to do if they're going to decide to, stick with Old Faithful, and that's what they're doing.
It'll be Feliciano. They've had success, but the Tigers were ready for that one. You didn't get any further than the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and I was talking about the success Feliciano was having on this drive, and it's been when they've had things opened up. He's been able to have that success up the middle, again, because the Tigers kind of expecting pass.
Yep.
Now you tighten things back up. We talked about it last week with the game against Troy. At times you've got 22 guys all around the line of scrimmage. You've
got Stellar about a yard behind Feliciano. I think everybody's within 12 yards of the line of scrimmage is how that's working.
Yeah.
And a good play there by the Tigers. Stellar will get to the 8.
Yeah, so we'll see again if, and Jim, as the clock continues to wind, it seems like the Red Tornadoes not really. I mean, this offense isn't really set up to be run as a up-tempo offense, but the clock continues to wind. You're right; it continues to tick away the Red Tornadoes' hopes. So, in hopes of getting something on this drive, you want to put some sort of points up. And I mean, looks like we're gonna need a timeout. Actually,
timeout for the Red Tornadoes again. Not. You said you wonder if the lack of urgency there was just a little confusion as to what exactly they wanted to do.
Yeah, Jim. Now, we talked about it. The ultimate goal coming into the game tonight, obviously, for the Red Tornadoes, is to get a win, walk away with the title.
Sure.
As the time starts to tick away, if you're Coach Dara, right, you get into a 4th and goal situation here. You know that your kicker, Julian Stellar, is one single point away from getting the record. Do you opt to give him the opportunity to kick a field goal and try and take that record?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Because, and again, it is. It's a really tough call to make for a coach because you don't want to show your team that you're giving up at this point. But at the same time, you want to get the points.
I think I'd feel differently if the extra point didn't get blocked. Because that's the other thing.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
But Feliciano, they're going to do the inside handoff to Farinado, and Farinato's going to fight in for a touchdown. So you don't have to. Coach Dara doesn't have to solve that one.
Right.
Farinado will be in from 8 yards out, and it's 34-12 with 8:13 left in the third quarter, or excuse me, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Now we'll see. Now the question is, for the Red Tornadoes, do you go for 2? You got the extra point blocked the first time around. Do you go for 2?
It looks like the offense is out there.
Yeah, Davitt's about to hustle off, and he hustles back in. And now they're bringing Widener in, so they're going to go Stellar and the Wildcat. So we are going to go for 2.
Out of the Wildcat, as you said, Stellar will keep it himself, and he's going to be in.
Yep.
So it's 34-14 now, and yeah, we kind of know up here and historically what an extra point kick for Stellar there could have meant. But Coach Dara, to his credit, has been consistent year-round that if you miss that extra point, they're going to try to pick up the point on the subsequent scoring drive.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think it's the right decision. I think just knowing the type of player that Stellar is, I think even if he would have been given the option, if there was a 4th down play to kick, he just said, no, Coach, we want 6. You know what I mean? He's a senior. This could be his last game of his high school football career. I'm not sure of his plans moving forward, but you want to put together the best showing you can if this is going to be your last game.
Yeah. All right, so let's see now. Again, we talked about it before. The Red Tornadoes have had some success with onside kicks throughout the season. We'll see if they opt for one here. The Tigers certainly expect them to. Garcia's the only one back deep.
Yeah, and you see Stellar's going to angle that ball there. And when they did have the success, it was the first man down, put a hit on the front line, and that big hop. And it was Farinado, I think, against Loyalsock that was able to go and get the ball.
So we'll also do the short one where he runs next. That's going to be a good hop. So great job there.
Oh, wow.
By number 23, Garrett Garcia, going up and get that. But as far as Stellar's concerned, you couldn't ask for better execution of that kick. You got the little hops and then the big one.
Yeah, absolutely not. You're right. And credit to Garrett Garcia for getting that one. You're right, because that's exactly what you want to do. You want the ball to go in the air. You want that front line to clear guys out, and you want somebody to come in there and catch that.
Yep.
And Garrett Garcia just didn't let the ball come down.
Right.
He went up, took a hit in the air, but secured it. So really nice job there. And, now we'll see this Tiger offense and what they opted to go with here.
Again, Garcia does that at 6 foot. So another big kid.
Yeah, he is.
A little motion there on the Red Tornado side. It'll be. We'll see.
They may have been drawn off here, Jim.
That's what it's going to be, Dan. Good call. So it'll be 1st and 15 for the Tigers. The ball will go back to the 39, excuse me.
Yeah, so Tigers moving in the right direction if you're wearing a white jersey. But we'll see here. Really no substitutions made on either side of the ball. There's still 8 minutes left. A lot of game to play here.
It's going to be Wisłowski. He's going to try to. Feliciano does a good job. But Wisłowski got away from him, and now there'll be a flag there. It's going to be a late hit against the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, and that's a tough one there, Jim. With everybody moving at full speed, sometimes it's tough to let up. We'll see where this ball's going to end up then. As the guy with the down marker is prepared. He's well ahead of the officials who haven't walked this off yet.
So the good news is everybody kind of got back to their huddle. All well and good there.
Yeah, that's,
again, add 15 yards to that one. The ball's going to be down to the 35.
Yeah, and that's a tough one there. If you're Wisłowski, lot of credit to him.
Yeah.
So, you get hit a little late out of bounds. You're not happy about it on the opposing team sideline. So I'm sure there's a little chirping going on, but he does a good job getting back to his huddle and staying out of trouble.
Give it to Garcia. Now Garcia will get the edge. There's going to be a flag here. The Red Tornadoes will do a good job not let him get any further. The ball's down. So Garcia fumbles.
And Liam Bradley, and there was no flag, Jim.
No, so nor was there a whistle. So there's a couple flags on the play that the Red Tornadoes I should have the opportunity to decline.
Yeah.
And take the result of the play.
Yeah, Jim, unfortunately for Garcia, as we get this sorted out here, unfortunately for Garcia, all that dancing and juking around and stuff you do, that just prolongs the time that defense has to rip at the ball. And that time it proved costly for him.
Yeah, so the Red Tornadoes are going to decline those penalties, and
Absolutely.
it'll be 1st and 10 Mount Carmel, where the ball sits at the 49-yard line. So the Red Tornado offense will get right back on the sticks here and see if they can put another one in and shrink this lead a little bit more.
Yeah, and Jim, everybody, it seemed like everybody on the Tigers side, when Garcia was kind of wrapped up and they saw the flags, just assumed that the play was dead. So when Bradley picked the ball up and began running, it took him a while to realize that the whistle wasn't blown.
Yep.
And a big break here for the Red Tornadoes. This is one of the things that may keep them in this game.
Feliciano going to throw. He's got time, and he's got Farinato behind the defense. It's going to fall incomplete. Now we're going to get a flag.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing there for the Tigers' defensive backfield is it was really good coverage, good coverage, but you have to get your head turned around. You have to if you're going to make any sort of contact, you have to make an attempt to go after the ball, and that's what the calls are going to be there for on the Tiger defender.
Yep, it'll be pass interference, and again at the high school level, it's not a spot foul, so it'll be 15 yards.
And it's going to be a first, which sometimes if you get beat, it's in high school football, like you said, sometimes if you get beat, it's the right play call.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a good move for you. But they're in good coverage, just didn't get his head around to find the ball. And unfortunately, that was the kryptonite there. That was what killed him.
Yep, so that'll put the ball at the 36-yard line here. 7:32 left in the fourth quarter. The Red Tornadoes trail 34-14 here at Tiger Stadium.
Something to watch here. Diaz against Rose on the wide side of the field.
That's where Feliciano wanted to go, but he's under pressure, and he's going to go down. We'll see who gets the credit for the sack on the Tigers side. Now, there's all kinds of flags that were thrown in the defensive backfield. I'm watching, trying to see where the sack came, so I don't have the slightest what these flags are going to be.
Well, it was well after the play. There was some pushing and stuff like that, and there's still some chirping going on here by the on the field. So we'll see. It's probably going to be a unsportsmanlike conduct is going to be my assumption on the call, or unnecessary roughness, something of that nature in the defensive backfield there. There was a lot of extracurriculars going on there. But again, that's going to be huge to negate the sack if that goes against the Tigers.
Yeah, so rewind that one at home if you're watching and take a look at what happened. We'll wait for the call here. A personal foul against the Tigers, and there won't be an offsetting. There won't be a second one called.
Yeah.
So that'll be 15 yards. It's going to, now with the sack.
Okay, yeah, because it was after the play, correct.
Right. So it's going to be it'll be second and a yard is what it's going to be for the Red Tornadoes. So we'll see the ball sits at the 26-yard line. It's a low snap. And the Red Tornadoes were not ready there. The ball went through Feliciano's legs, and he didn't really react.
No, I'm not sure if he thought that there was going to be a flag or what the situation was. But, Jim, reminiscent of the first time the Red Tornadoes played against the Tigers, where they're driving on the first drive of the game, and a bad snap for a big loss derailed the entire drive and subsequently the game for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, and you go from, again, 2nd and 1, now it's back to 3rd and 12. You're essentially negated the personal foul call.
Yeah.
Farinado comes in motion. Feliciano's going to roll out, and they're going to try to get it to Farinado, but Feliciano's going to go down. Looks like Fedorov's in there. We got number 78. I think that's, well, we don't have a 78, Dan. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Credit to number 78.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be 4th down, 4th and about 20 for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, and with under 6 minutes and counting, this is the play of the game. You have to convert this 4th and very long for the Red Tornadoes to have any hopes of continuing this game.
Yep, and that's why we're going to get a timeout from the Red Tornadoes again. It'll be 4th and 18.
Okay.
But again, just a reminder, it was 2nd and 1 up at the 27 about. Now it's 4th and 18 from the 44 in the span of 2 plays.
Yeah, and you talk about it. You get the low snap that missed timing, and honestly, Jim, that was the first time I think I've seen them run anybody in motion in this more of a spread set that they're running. So as a center, quarterback, whatever, you're not used to how long that motion takes for the play. So if you're anticipating the snap, you're used to Farinado coming in motion from the wing, and it's quick. This time around, he's coming from one side of the field to the other. That could have been a miscommunication there, or just anticipation getting the best of you.
So again, I think the Tigers are expecting to go after Feliciano here. He's going to roll out, and now he's going to run, and he's got to run for 18. He's not going to get there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that situation right there is tough, and Feliciano is down on the field.
So when he gets tended to here, When we get back in play, the Tigers will take over 1st and 10. Let's see where they mark the ball at the 36.
Yeah.
So it's 34-14 here. 5:21 in play. The Tigers well on their way to a district championship. It got exciting there for a minute, we'll say.
Yeah.
But again, a tough sequence of events there for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, you think after the turnover and then a first down, with still around 7 minutes to go, you think that this is the break the Red Tornadoes needed. Turn this into a 2-possession game. But unfortunately, like you said, the trouble with the snap and then the sack afterwards, and then the fourth down. The not converting the fourth down seems like this game is starting to kind of fade away for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, and I think you have to kind of look at the future here for the Red Tornadoes. And this will wind up being a frustrating finish for sure. But I think that if Mount Carmel had been able to put some points on the board there again.
Yeah.
Again, it's nice. You think about it, right? Okay, and then you get another onside kick and force another turnover and score, and another onside. Like, you kind of go through that. You realize the likelihood of that happening is slim to none.
Right.
But to have been able to drive down and put some more points on the board while the ones are still on the field for both sides, we talk about it all the time. This Mount Carmel team is very young.
Very young, yes.
They're going to be back with a force next year. So it would have been nice to kind of see those guys have a little bit of an opportunity to have a little success here in Catawissa, recognizing that, again, I think as long as Jim Roth is roaming the sidelines, District 4 Class 2A has to come through Catawissa.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this Tigers team is very senior heavy. We talked about it. I don't know if we talked about it tonight, but just looking at the team, they are a senior heavy team. But no matter what, there are always guys waiting in the wings for this Tigers team. Now, grant you, losing last year district or PIAA AA Player of the Year, Gavin Garcia. I mean, that's a tough guy to replace moving forward for next year. But somehow they always find some way to be successful. This Tigers team, and you said it's a testament to Jim Roth and his coaching staff.
And Feliciano's still down here. Hopefully all works out. It's kind of eerily reminiscent of the last time the Red Tornadoes played here, where I think it was Widener.
Yeah, it was Shane Widener. Yep. Who was an integral part of this team, just as Feliciano has been all year.
So, Dan, I think we didn't talk about it a whole lot, but the winner of this matchup here, and again, for what it's worth, it does seem to be trending in the Tigers' direction.
Yeah.
Will get the winner of Richland and Forest Hills next week. So we've got that one. I'm not sure where that one is. And then we also talked about just kind of curiosity, Danville and Montoursville in AAA. So Richland up 35-0 on Forest Hills right now.
In the fourth quarter currently. So that one's looking like it's going to go Richland's way. And I know Richland has been playing tough this year. So, and just, something else to check on here. Danville now leading 28-21 over Montoursville in the third quarter. And, we talked about North Schuylkill earlier. Newman Goretti up 26-7 in the fourth quarter. So, as one team here tonight is going to be going home for the last time, walking off the field for the last time this season, that's going to happen in all these other games. So, Montoursville, Danville, and Newman Goretti or North Schuylkill, we may see another area team season come to an end tonight.
Yeah, and I know at least at the outset of the season when the Red Tornadoes came across the Spartans, the Spartans were the number one team in AAA in the state.
Yeah.
I believe that's where they were now. Admittedly, as the season goes on, my focus narrows to PHAC District 4.
Yep.
Kind of lose track of those guys a little bit, but certainly expected to contend. I mean, you make it to the district championship, right? You've got
for sure, and only one loss on the season, and it was in a very sloppy, rain-soaked game against Pottsville.
Yeah.
You know, as we continue to see, we saw the Red Tornadoes there on the sideline. Everybody kind of take a knee, huddle up, and have a conversation here. As you know, we talked about it. Feliciano's still down on the field. He's one of the senior leaders. He was a game captain tonight. So it's hard. It's hard to see this happen like this.
You know, we talk about kind of some of the seniors out there, and you've got, you know, David, of course, Feliciano, Moser,
Stellar,
Kenny Wetzel.
Yep.
Michael Keir. Again, the Red Tornado seniors are few, but they be mighty, right, in terms of what they've given to this program over the last 4 years and certainly this year. And that's the same. I don't necessarily have the names, but you can say the same for the cheerleaders that are out here every week. The seniors, they're out in the cold, in the rain, at Shamokin, they're giving it their all. The band that travels everywhere. The TV studio that's getting to games hours early and staying hours late.
Yeah.
So certainly, you know, to all you out there, that this may be your last hurrah here, as far as football goes, at least. Just congratulations and you know, thank you for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Welcome to the alumni club.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Welcome to the alumni club, and you know, I talk about it every year. I think I try to mention it so that hopefully, you know, if these seniors are watching this game when they go home or anything like that, watching it on Wednesday night when it's rebroadcast, you know, just don't forget where you come from. You know, we talk about it all the time. No matter where you go, near, far, here, there, college, you go into the workforce, whatever you decide to do, just always remember the tight-knit community that you grew up in and that you came from.
You know what I like about that, Dan?
What's that?
That you think that they watch us on Wednesday without muting us.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's very true. I didn't think about it. Well, there's other folks that mute us too, so that's all right.
And again, for those of you that haven't muted us just yet, tonight's sponsor was Winnie the Pooh Daycare. Just a couple nice things to say about Winnie the Pooh, because we certainly appreciate everything they're doing. Want you to remember that Winnie the Pooh Daycare and Preschool, I'm sorry, I think I just keep saying daycare. It's Winnie the Pooh Daycare and Preschool.
Right.
Service children from 8 weeks of age to age 11. Offer before and after school care. Offer a pre-K counts program free to families who qualify. And are a Keystone Star Force Center. In a couple weeks on December 11th, they're hosting a Christmas event at the St. Pauline Visitator Center in Coltmont. Attached is the flyer. I wasn't supposed to read that part, Dan.
That's all right. That happens.
So they'll have a live nativity there with the baby Jesus and the real animals in the nativity. Santa's coming, so children will get a small gift. And the night's going to end with a luminary and caroling. Now, we've been doing this. This is what, year 5? I think this is year 5 we've been out here.
Sure.
18, 19, 20, 4?
4. Yeah.
I think that's my first true, like, Ron Burgundy Anchorman moment. Like, just write it and he'll say it.
Reading the teleprompter,
Just
right?
whatever you put in there, he'll say it.
Yeah, I like it, though. Because, you know, sometimes I'm usually the one making mistakes on stats and stuff like that. So it's nice to not be the one this time around. But,
sometimes we just read them wrong because Jose always gives us what we need.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. I mean, you talk about the Winnie the Pooh daycare there, and unfortunately, like you said, you get the plug, but forget to cut out certain pieces of it.
Yeah, that's what I get. But just and again, as you see all the things going on in the field, just always a friendly reminder, like we talk about it. You know, the Red Tornado is certainly going to be disappointed if the season ends this way here in Catawissa, but these kids give everything they've got out there week in and week out. They're putting their bodies on the line. We just always got to remember that they're just kids out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doing everything they can to kind of, compete week in and week out, which they do, which they've done consistently since Coach Dara got here. Again, we talked about it. Coach Dara's 50-plus wins now. 50, I think 51 was last week, right?
Yeah, I think I
And
think that's correct. Yeah.
Right, and that makes him one of what? He's got one of about 5. Yeah, I think Jazz Diminick, Mike Terry, Mike Brennan, and Whitey Williams are the only other coaches that have won at least 50 games here.
Wow, and that's
so it's elite company.
It absolutely is elite company, and it's a testament to the longevity of their career. I mean, you have to have successful seasons to stay in a program long enough to win that many games. You talked about it. He's 51-29. Unfortunately, if they fall tonight, he'll be 51-30. But this season will finish out at 10-3.
I think
and that might be the first 10-win season they've had since we started doing this, or it's going to be close to it.
Well, I think somebody told me this week. So at this point, now I can add the numbers in here. Last year was a weird year.
Yes.
Forfeits and not getting through a full slate, okay?
Yeah.
But if you exclude last year, so seasons that started in 18, 19, and 21.
Yeah.
Red Tornadoes, I believe, are 30-9.
Okay.
And all 9 losses have come against either Southern or North Schuylkill. As Feliciano is up off the ground, he's going to be cared to.
Okay, so I was incorrect, Jim. Multiple 10-win seasons. This one just felt different. The prowess of this rushing attack and this offense and just the way the Red Tornadoes really hadn't played in a close game this year. Even the close ones weren't really close,
Well, they scored 60 points in back-to-back weeks at one point.
Yeah.
The 7-game win streak, the streak of 300 yards rushing, the average 300 yards rushing for the season. There's been a lot.
Yeah, and I think I can pretty much say it pretty confidently now, late in the game, unless something major happens, that it held true. I mean, during the last few weeks of the season, my keys for the Red Tornadoes were 300 plus. You have to, every time we rush for 300 yards, we won the game.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to stay true. I don't think, unfortunately, I think the Red Tornadoes, with the Tigers getting the ball back here, are going to have a hard time turning this one around. So it's going to be a game with less than 300 yards and, unfortunately, another loss.
And when you have a serious, what looks at least like a serious medical event going on the Red Tornado sideline, be curious to see what kind of the vibe is of the last 5.5 minutes here.
Yeah. I mean, and you hope that at least for the Red Tornadoes late here in the game, that a game that may all but be decided at this point, you want your guys, you want to get your seniors out there on the field. You want them to go out there and play for their senior captain who, was injured. Play these last 5 minutes, play him at full speed, 100%, just like he would do if he were out there, So we wish all the best to Pedro Feliciano and hope to have a speedy recovery.
So now we're going to get the ball back in play here. Again, 5:21 left is the reset. 1st and 10 Tigers at the 36-yard line. They lead the Red Tornadoes 34-14 here in the District 4 championship. And it's Garcia. And Garcia is gone. That's going to be from 64 yards out.
Yeah, and that's one play very quickly. Like you said, we have the little break there, a little delay for the injury. Guys are coming back in. You think maybe things are going to get moving slow here, and Garcia just explodes for a touchdown.
Yep. Carter on for the extra point here. It's a high snap. Good job there by Rose of getting that down. Carter's going to drill it. So with 5:08 left in this one, it's 41-14 Tigers. And Dan, that was Garcia's 4th of the night.
Wow.
He's got touchdown runs of 49, 22, 32, and 64.
So what do we have?
Just,
Hill and Barnes with the other 2, and that's it. Garcia's got 4 of 6.
Well, Rose caught the touchdown pass and
from
Wise.
Wise, and then
The Barnes 5-yard run. Yep.
So that's pretty impressive numbers. You know, we talked about his numbers from last week: 4 for 107 and 3 touchdowns. I mean, he can't have more than 9-10 touches this game,
right?
And 4 touchdowns. It's pretty impressive. And I mean, just on the 4 touchdown runs that he has, he's got well over 100 yards.
Yeah.
So
he's about 150 plus.
Yeah. So he's a impressive running back, and I'm sure the Red Tornadoes, you know, at least those guys that are going to be back next year, are pretty happy that he isn't going to be. You know,
right.
That's.
Carter will kick. That's going to be Spears at the 13.
Actually, that's Diaz.
Oh, good eyes, Dan. And Diaz now, he's going to get stuck right at about the 46. There's a good return there. Ran into, really, there was just a pile there. And he tried, as he avoided the pile, he just slow up enough to get caught from behind.
Yeah, it was number 1, Kyle Crispin there, kind of coming back and manning that edge, because if he weren't there, Diaz would have been gone. But really good. You know, we talk about Diaz, the electricity. It's going to be really nice to have that guy back next year.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a spark for years to come.
1st and 10, Red Tornadoes. And it's Stellar off the right side. He's going to be stopped up for a gain of a yard. Now, one thing we keep hearing about Diaz, Dan, and I heard a few people say today, you have to remember, he's just kind of figuring all this out.
Yeah.
Right? So he's a sophomore, and Coach Dara told us about him at the beginning of the season. He was kind of our you know, a well-kept secret for a minute.
Yeah, for sure.
And then as you see the attention he's gotten this year, and well-deserved based on what he's accomplished on the field, but I think if you get him out on the track this spring, you might see him even quicker if you can believe it.
Right, for sure, and it will be pretty impressive to see that, but you're right. I think everybody's talked about it. He really doesn't. I heard some people talking about it earlier that his 40 time isn't the fastest on the team. It's not the fastest in probably on the field right now. If you go 40-yard dash on the track,
sure.
But his breakaway speed is some of the most unbelievable speed I've seen.
It's 3rd and 8. They'll give it to Stellar. Stellar's going to bull forward. He's going to be pretty close to that 1st down, actually. Looks like they're going to mark him a yard short.
Yeah, just short there.
That turf gives you a little bounce.
It does. It does. Well, and that was the thing, too. I wasn't sure if it were a bounce or if they were or if he got kind of a second effort, got held up there. But the spot is saying it was a bounce. Right. So. But, yeah, I like what Coach Dara is doing here. Getting the seniors their due here.
It's going to be close.
They're going to mark him short, Jim.
Yeah, that's a tough spot.
It really is, because he got over the top there.
Yep. So the Tigers will take over 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, and as you can see, we see the
Tigers are going to make some changes here on the offensive side.
Yeah, when you start seeing guys on the sideline with the jackets on,
right.
Trying to warm up, that's usually when they won't be seeing the field again tonight. So we'll try and get them if we can here. Looks like defensively for the Red Tornadoes, they're going to stick with what they got.
Yep.
Looks like number 14, Tyler Arnold, in there at quarterback.
He's going to turn. He's going to hand it to
us. Whoa. Oh, boy.
Trying to see who that was that got the ball. Number 2, Carter Madden.
Yeah, and then unfortunately we don't have height, weight on Carter Madden, but I would say a lot smaller than Matt Kelly, who
Yeah.
pushed him back for a few yards and landed on top of him. That's got to be tough. But
A couple other Tigers out there. We got Colton Bloom. I see Marsala out there. We talked about him earlier.
Yep. Jacob Hoy, number 6 here, split out where we normally see Rose at.
That's going to be Masala off the right side. He's going to pick up a couple yards going forward. 28, Trevor Yorks. 26, Loudon Murphy. 51, Dylan Stein. Again, apologies to these guys. Can't get all the jersey numbers.
Yeah.
Looks like maybe number, not sure who that is.
Kyle Crispin, I think that's number
Is that a
1.
one?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think that's a 1 there.
52, Robert Long.
Jim, you talk about Masali. He's one of those seniors out there for the Tigers. So good to see him getting some carries here.
You hand it to Carter Madden again. Again, the Red Tornadoes do a good job. Not let him get any further. 76, Nevin Deal.
I'm trying to see here who we still got. Now we got some different guys checking in. Looks like the punt team.
Yeah. Yep, 4th and 8 here. The Tigers going to punt it away.
And I mean, they could punt this with under a minute left if they let it wind down. So they're going to send, looks like Farinato.
And Spears back deep.
Yeah. And you see, we've talked about this before when those guys aren't ready to come back in the game.
Right.
You know, you see Braden Wisłowski is the long snapper, and he was the last person to get out there onto the field.
Good punt by Carter. Farinato's going to take a fair catch to 21.
Smart call by Farinato there.
It'll be 1st and 10 from there for the Red Tornadoes. 50 seconds left in this one. I expect to see wholesale changes for the Red Tornadoes.
Wholesale changes, but also
Not
I
quite.
think you're going to let the seniors, as you see Kenny Wetzel go in there.
Yeah, so not really wholesale changes. Looks like only Wetzel. Wetzel's going to be the...
And looks like Kier as well.
Oh,
We
yep.
see Kier in there. So, again, you know, we want to talk about getting the seniors in there. So you still got Stellar. You've got Widener in there, Diaz. But you've got all the senior offensive linemen out there.
I'll give it to Stellar. I don't think we talked about it, but with Feliciano out, Spears went in there to play quarterback, as he's done most of the season.
Right.
And it looks like they're going to have to snap it one more time here.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that's probably going to be it for this one, Jim. And again, another great season from this Tornadoes team.
Red Tornadoes give it to Diaz. And the season will end with about a 20-yard run by Diaz.
It's a nice run there by Diaz as well.
So the clock will stop just as they set the ball. Now it'll wind again.
Looks like they're going to try and get one more off maybe.
Spears will keep that one. And he'll get near midfield. There's zeros on the clock, and the Tigers can celebrate a district championship.
Yeah, and it seems like that's something that they've probably gotten used to celebrating.
Right.
You know, Jim, this is a big one for them. You know, and a tough one again for the Red Tornadoes, as you see. You know, like we talked about, the seniors are going to take their last walk in this handshake line, and they're going to say obviously they're going to see all their teammates in school, but you know, their last goodbyes from the football locker room. It's unfortunate to see that, but again, all these seniors had an amazing year this year.
So 41-14 the final here at Tiger Stadium in Catawissa. Again, the star of the night, as he is most nights, is Gavin Garcia. 4 touchdowns. Again, I'm guessing here. We'll see if Jose has any individual stats, but I'm expecting to be up around, if not over 200 yards.
Yeah, it's got to be close.
Just a huge night for him, and likely one of many for the next couple weeks. I'd expect the Tigers a prohibitive favorite to repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. I think for the state championship, because they're on a quest to their 5th straight. 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21, I believe.
That sounds about right, Jim.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I think the last time that they lost was 2016 when or was it the 2015 season, excuse me. But it would have been when Gage, Garcia, and Fleming and those guys were freshmen.
Yeah, you are correct.
That was the last time. So I'm trying to see if we can find Jose to know if we're going to get stats or not.
Yeah, I was searching the sideline. I do see him there. Not sure if he's calculating stuff up or if he's taking a picture. He's got something dialed up here for me, hopefully.
Either way, we'll get that. And
I know the last second run there by Spears probably threw him off. It's got to add those stats in there really quickly. He's walking away, so we'll see if we get a text here.
So again, 41-14 here. Unfortunately, the Red Tornado season will end at Tiger Stadium, and I think, Dan, you got some stats from Jose?
I do, and looking at the Red Tornadoes, 51 rushes for 170 yards, 3 of 5 passing for 35, so that's going to put them at 205 total yards of offense and 11 first downs. For the Tigers, 36 carries for 319 yards. 3 of 4 passing for 72 yards. So if my math is correct there, that's going to look like about 381, 391, somewhere around there. Doing math off the top of the head is not my strong suit, obviously. But they've had 15 first downs. And, we talked about a lot of that 319 yards coming from reigning PIAA Player of the Year, Gavin Garcia.
Yep, so I think that's probably going to do it for us here at Tiger Stadium. Again, congratulations and thank you to the seniors, football players, band members, TV studio, cheerleaders, all the above.
And good luck.
And good luck, in your
future
endeavors here.
Yeah.
Red Tornadoes will fall 41-14 to the Tigers. But for Jose Gonzalo, I'm Jim Lesko.
And I'm Dan Lesko.
Thanks for being with us this season. It's been a great run, and we will see you in August. Good night.